At school, this is off limits to talk about. The top 10 horrifying historical facts. Schools, the sacred temples of knowledge, have a secret vault of historical tales that textbooks dare not tread upon. These facts, often deemed too disturbing or controversial, are considered off limits for discussion within the school premises. But today, we are breaking the rules and diving headfirst into the top 10 horrifying historical facts that schools keep under lock and key. Join us on this electrifying journey through the shadows of history, unveiling gruesome tales that textbooks conveniently sweep under the rug. From the dark secrets of ancient civilizations to the downright creepy stories hidden in the nooks and crannies of our past. Get ready for a roller coaster journey that'll have you wide-eyed and maybe a tad freaked out. So, buckle up for a spine-chilling ride into the darkest corners of our collective past. Queen Cleopatra. Let's kickstart this list by getting into the wild world of Cleopatra, the ultimate Egyptian queen who, surprise, wasn't originally an Egyptian. Cleopatra, born in 69 BC, was actually of Greek descent and a member of the Ptolemaic dynasty. So, despite her Greek roots, she embraced Egyptian culture and became the last active rulers of the Ptolemaic kingdom. Now, let's talk about these Ptolemies, a family with customs that were normal for them, but would raise an eyebrow or two today. Brace yourselves, because here's where it gets peculiar. Sibling marriage, also known as incest, was the norm back in the day, and for Cleopatra, it was all in the family, as she boldly married not one, but two of her brothers, Ptolemy XIII, and later Ptolemy XIV. Ah, the joys of keeping it all in the royal family, where sibling love was as ordinary as pyramid building. But wait, it gets even more peculiar. This sibling love took a dark turn, as Cleopatra might have played a role in her siblings' deaths. Talk about a family affair gone wrong. Rumor has it that she orchestrated her own version of Game of Thrones to eliminate potential rivals. Cleopatra allegedly had Marcus Antonius take care of her younger sister, Arsinoe IV, who was seen as a threat to her rule. As for her brothers, Ptolemy XIII met his end in a heated battle, and Cleopatra supposedly stirred up a lethal concoction to bid farewell to Ptolemy XIV after the birth of her son, Caesarion. Now, some might say these actions were a bit brutal, but hey, rulers are gonna rule, right? Cleopatra was just playing the ancient Egyptian political game, like any other leader of her time. The dancing plague. When you hear the word plague, you probably don't imagine a scenario where people are compelled to hit the dance floor and dance until they basically die of exhaustion, right? Enter the mysterious world of the dancing plague, a bizarre occurrence that unfolded in medieval Europe between the 14th and 17th centuries. This plague made people dance uncontrollably in a trance-like state, almost like they were caught in a perpetual can't stop, won't stop groove for days, weeks, or even months, leading to the unfortunate demise of these dancers. The most notable and well-documented occurrence of the dancing plague took place in 1518 in Strasbourg, in modern France. A woman named Frau Trophy is said to have started dancing in the streets, and the phenomenon quickly spread, affecting hundreds of people. What's weird is that the exact cause remains unknown to this day, with a number of theories like mass hysteria, psychological stress, and even ergot poisoning, which results from ingesting the alkaloids produced by a fungus that grows on grains like rye. Now, onto something a little less dancy and a little more saucy. Ketchup. The world's most cherished flavor companion, the one that makes French fries truly magical, has a history far more extensive and peculiar than one might imagine. The OG ketchup wasn't the sweet tomato blend we love today. No, it was a fishy affair, born in China, and given the glamorous name ketchup or ketchup. What's in it, you ask? Just your typical fermented mix of fish entrails and soybeans. Appetizing, right? But hold your judgments, because this fermented paste was renowned for its robust pungency and long-lasting quality, and British sailors supposedly just couldn't get enough of it. They were enamored with its salty kick and potent flavor, ultimately bringing it back to England during the 1700s. The Black Dinner. Picture this, 1440 Scotland. The young Earl of Douglas and his brother get a dinner invitation from 10-year-old King James II. Sounds innocent, right? Wrong. Mid-feast, a black bull's head, a symbol of death, was brought to the table. The Douglases were accused of treason and promptly executed, leaving the Scottish court in shock. The Tunguska Event. Now let's zip ahead to the roaring year of 1908 in Siberia, where the Tunguska Event unfolds like a Michael Bay blockbuster. Cue explosions, destruction, and all the drama you can possibly imagine. A meteoroid or comet-triggered massive airburst flattens an astounding 80 million trees over 2,150 square kilometers. What makes it even more surreal? Despite the devastation, there are no reported human casualties, all because the area happened to be sparsely populated. The Tunguska Event remains one of the most significant natural disasters in modern history, yet it's often overlooked in discussions of impactful historical events. The underground catacombs. While history books often skim over the dark corners of our past, one bone-chilling tale hidden beneath the streets of Paris involves the catacombs. The vast underground labyrinth, initially created as a solution to the city's overflowing cemeteries, became a bizarre masterpiece. More than 6 million human remains were carefully arranged to form eerie walls of skulls and bones, creating a haunting subterranean realm. It's basically a DIY haunted house, Paris edition. This hidden city of the dead stands as a silent witness to the historical struggles with mortality and the unique ways societies cope with the inevitability of death. Napoleon Bonaparte. Ever stumbled upon the Napoleon complex, aka the short man complex? Well, let's debunk the myth. Napoleon Bonaparte, the famed French military and political maestro, wasn't the vertically challenged figure history has painted him to be. Shocking, we know. It turns out that in reality, he stood at an average height for his era, measuring around 5 feet 6 inches. The rumor mill suggests his shorter stature likely stems from a mix-up in measurement systems between France and Britain, coupled with a dash of political propaganda aimed at making him look like a pint-sized powerhouse. The Emu War. Alright, now buckle up for a tale that sounds like a bizarre combination of a wildlife documentary and a military union. The Emu War of 1932 in Australia. World War I veterans turned farmers found themselves in a battle against thousands of emus, wreaking havoc on their crops. Yes, those large flightless birds with a knack for causing trouble. Frustrated, the Australian government decided to take action and dispatched soldiers armed with 2 Lewis machine guns and a whole lot of ambition. Now, one would think taking on birds would be a cakewalk, right? Wrong. The emus, proving themselves as formidable opponents, outmaneuvered the soldiers, scattering in every direction. The soldiers soon realized that emus were not to be underestimated, and the so-called war against the birds became a comical misadventure. In the end, the Emu War became a symbol of man's struggle against nature, and the emus emerged victorious. The Little Ice Age. We're sure you've all watched the animation film Ice Age, but did you know that there was something called the Little Ice Age as well? From the 14th to the mid-19th centuries, Earth took a frosty detour, chilling out on a global cooling spree. Europe, Asia, and North America felt the shivers, leading to some wild consequences. Now picture this. Not only did colder temperatures mess with growing seasons, but they also turned the heat up on societal drama. Crop failures and famines triggered societal problems such as increased poverty, social unrest, and even conflicts over scarce resources. But hold on, there's more to this icy saga. The Little Ice Age wasn't just a weather phenomenon, it also shaped exploration routes. Frozen rivers and harbors became highways, making trade and transport viable in some regions. And as for cultural depictions, the Little Ice Age had an impact on them too. Artists captured the frozen landscapes and harsh conditions in their paintings, reflecting the impact of the cold on society's perception of nature. The life of a pirate. Pirates have long been romanticized and mythologized in popular culture. We've all heard tales of buried treasure on remote islands. But did pirates really play hide and seek with their loot? Spoiler alert, it's more Hollywood magic than historical truth. And what about those majestic pirate ships, complete with billowing sails and fearsome Jolly Roger flags? Well, in reality, pirate vessels were a mix of shapes and sizes, often recycled from captured merchant ships. Forget the polished image, practicality and efficiency ruled the waves. Also, the conditions aboard pirate ships were harsh. Crowded quarters, limited provisions, and the constant threat of disease made life challenging. But wait, there's more. The legendary Pirate Code is a set of rules governing pirate behavior. It sounds organized and structured, right? Well, not exactly. While some crews had codes, chaos and lawlessness often reigned supreme. There you have it. If this wild journey through the hidden corners of history left you intrigued, don't be shy. Hit that like button and spread the historical mayhem among your fellow thrill seekers. Subscribe to our channel, History Spotlight, because we're here to bring you more mind-bending stories that redefine the way you look at the past. Until then, stay curious, stay fascinated, and, most importantly, stay subscribed to History Spotlight. See you in the next chapter of our historical escapades.